Hey everyone, it's Shailena representing Hey Ugly, the nonprofit organization that's saving the lives of those being bullied. So since it's February and it's kind of like Love Month, I wanted to talk about, what it means to be part of the L.G.B.T.Q community for a lot of teens and young adults. So being part of the L.G.B.T.Q plus community, you typically tend to, like people of the same sex or of both sexes, or you have this feeling that you are in the wrong body, so you belong to the opposite sex group, and that's okay. A lot of people don't quite understand all that it means to be part of the LGBTQ plus community, especially if you're heterosexual or cisgender. So it's something that a lot of people are kind of afraid of and confused about for whatever reason. There's a lot of hardships that come with being part of the LGBTQ plus community. Some of those include when you're closeted, you end up having a higher risk of suicide because you feel alone and isolated and misunderstood and feel like you can't be yourself because it's frowned upon by somebody else. People that question their sexuality or their sexual identity, they tend to experience more situations where they're depressed or they have suicidal thoughts because, again, these people feel alienated and just completely isolated from the rest of the mainstream heterosexual cis community. So there are some things and resources for people part of the LGBTQ plus community that haven't come out yet, could find on Hey Ugly's website. So one of the things that they should know is that there was a study done by Stephen Russell, who is a former president of the Society of Research on Adolescence, and he is currently a professor at the University of Arizona. He did studies showing that coming out earlier leads to, while it leads to more bullying in school, it tends to lead to a lower rate of depression and anxiety, as well as a higher self-esteem in the long term, because you feel more comfortable with yourself because you've fought through this adversity and you've kind of owned who you are from, earlier in your life, so you don't feel quite as ashamed of who you are when you really shouldn't feel like that at all. So coming out when you feel ready and when you have a good support system, such as parents or friends or other people of the LGBTQ plus community to kind of, be somebody for you to lean on, is something that all LGBTQ plus members should definitely make an effort to do. So National Coming Out Day is October 11th, which is kind of far from now, but you should come out whenever you feel ready, whenever you feel like you just want people to know who you are in all facets. It's totally fine to just kind of just be who you are whenever you feel comfortable and ready for it. There isn't a whole lot of support outside of understanding and caring and loving family members and friends for LGBTQ plus students and young people in general. So there's kind of been an effort and a push lately that I've kind of noticed myself in schools, as far as administrations and communities, and a lot of parents are becoming more understanding to kind of create these safe spaces and environments for these kids that are ready and willing to come out as part of the LGBTQ plus community, so that they have this sense of comfort and stability with who they are and just knowing that they can be themselves without having to feel ashamed of it. So that's awesome. I know in my college there's a lot of and a lot of colleges have LGBTQ plus kind of groups and community like hangout spaces where kids of that community are just able to hang out with one another and just kind of share their stories and support one another, which is awesome. So you're never alone when you feel like, you know, you're part of that LGBTQ plus community. It's growing exponentially because people are feeling much more comfortable with who they are and much more comfortable coming out and just being themselves all the time. So if you know somebody that's looking to come out, be supportive. Like, share your support, you know, share your story with coming out and just kind of be there for them. And that'll help inspire them to feel more comfortable to come out all on their own, which is amazing. So, you know, that's just a couple of things to think about. There's a lot more resources for kids that need support and help coming out on Hey Ugly's website. That's heyugly.org, such as glsen.org, and there's other resources on Hey Ugly as well that just kind of give you some stories for people that have come out, as well as, you know, different methods and just kind of information about how beneficial it is for you to come out and to just be yourself and be in your skin and be proud of who you are and what you feel inside, even if it doesn't quite match up with what everybody else feels, because everybody's different and that's totally okay. So that's all I have for this week. Until next time, remember that you don't always know what someone else is going through, but you can always be nice and kind and just show that love to everyone else. Have a great week, guys.